evening. I am so excited. Hi, Carolyn. I'm so excited.
Hello.
I am so excited you're here with us. I am Patty Moliterno, and we are celebrating our uh, Get Outside Homeschool. This Facebook party, we were going to talk about things about homeschooling outside, whether it's a formal or just a casual getting outside and enjoying the weather. Alicia says, "Hi, ladies. Hi, Alicia. We're
And
so
how is
glad."
the weather, Patty, where you are right now?
Okay, so the weather is it is nice this week. Last week it
Good.
wasn't, but it is nice. So we are celebrating our Get Outside and Homeschool Facebook party. Invite your friends to join by sharing this video. And um, my first question for you is tell us where you are from. And I will start, and then Carolyn's going to tell us. I hope everyone has something to drink. I am drinking coffee. Carolyn thinks I'm crazy for drinking coffee. Carolyn, you have your drink?
It's just water tonight. I can't drink coffee this time. Even like a dark tea, I'll be up till midnight and I want to have a good sleep tonight. So I can't drink coffee this late.
Okay. Well, so can you drink coffee this late? And tell us where you are from. I am from Ohio, and a week or so ago we had, so you never know what it's going to be like. Stephanie is from North Carolina, and Janelle is here. She's here.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining.
So I am from Ohio. I have been homeschooling for, this is going on 28 years. That sounds like forever. Like that's your age, isn't it, Carolyn?
I'm a little older than that. A little older than that.
And I have 5 children ranging in age from 33 to 16. And I have a few more years to go. Our 16-year-old is on the spectrum, and so I will be homeschooling past 18 with him. So I am excited to be here with you, Carolyn. It is so wonderful to see your face. Where are you from?
So funny thing is, I'm in Canada. I'm on the outskirts of Vancouver, Canada, and we haven't seen snow in a very long time, Patty. So I think you guys are colder than us. We've been having a lovely week here. Lots of warm weather. It's a little rainy today, but yeah, I'm about an hour outside of Vancouver. We live out in the country in the Fraser Valley, they call it. We're on about 4 acres out here of land, which means we've had chickens, we have dogs. Lots of property for the kids to run around, and it's kind of the thing we always dreamed of was to homeschool our kids and having a great big outdoor space, which is hard to come by in Vancouver. So we had to move a little further out to get that kind of land. But I have 3 kids. They're all under the age of 10. My oldest is 9. My middle is almost 8, and my youngest is 5. So we've been homeschooling for 6 years.
Wow. That's exciting. So I'm going to ask the audience, this is a surprise question. I'm going to ask them if you haven't homeschooled, let us know that you're just checking out homeschooling. How many years you've homeschooled? And while we find out where our audience is from, we have Sabrina from Arkansas. Welcome. And Kristen is in Kentucky. And Kentucky is pretty similar to Ohio as far as weather. And Stephanie, Tennessee. That's wonderful.
I would love to go to Tennessee.
You've never been there?
No.
Oh.
I've been to a lot of the states, but I've always wanted to go to Tennessee, and we have not been yet. So that is on my list for sure.
And Stephanie says if she drank coffee this late, she'd be up all night. And that is what I'm aiming for so I can get work done.
I'm with you, Stephanie.
Anne is from Arizona. You've been to Arizona.
Love Arizona. Love Arizona.
Have you been you were at the Grand Canyon, correct?
Yeah, but I mean, the Grand Canyon was good, but we fell in love with Sedona. We just love Sedona. We were there for 8 days, and I could have stayed there longer, no problem. Beautiful, beautiful spot.
So the Grand Canyon and Arizona, traveling is a great way to get outside and homeschool.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great way to educate your kids naturally. They don't even know they're learning.
Yeah, I agree. Alicia's in Kentucky and it is warm, no coffee anytime. So this is a coffee or no coffee. Elle is from Jamaica and she probably gets the award for being the furthest right now, but Jamaica, I've never been. Have you?
I've flown through it.
Oh, okay.
I've stopped there, but no, I haven't actually spent time in Jamaica, but I want to go everywhere. So
I know. Me too. Stephanie loves coffee, and I am like getting really far behind. No coffee in 10 years. Can we still be friends? Heather, we can
we still
always
love you,
be
Heather.
friends.
It's all good.
Yes. So, and we have so many comments here. So many. I am going to skip through some. Janelle drinks any time in Jamaica.
I'm looking. Tea. I love my tea too. Usually it's coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoons for me.
Okay, so Alicia loves that you have a small homestead. Now, you said you had 4 acres?
Yes.
Okay, so the Old Schoolhouse does have a homesteading course.
I saw that. Yes.
Yes, and they do, Schoolhouse Teachers.
Yeah.
Which is the division of the Old Schoolhouse. So there's a homesteading course, and there's so much to, if you can have some animals, you have chickens or lamb, or we have goats and chickens. We have pigs, and
I didn't know you had pigs. That's news to me.
We only have them for a short period of time each year.
Okay.
So we don't keep them year round.
Okay.
And Krista is from Alberta.
Yay, Canadian! Thanks for joining, Krista.
Kristen says they'll be in the 80s this week. Okay, so we asked how long you've been homeschooling. Alicia says 11 years. And Jody is from PA. PA is my neighbor. Actually, I am very close to the PA border. So, and Stephanie is almost done with 8 years. Sabrina says 13 years on and off.
Wow,
and
a real mix.
Yes.
3 years. Awesome.
With a 10-year-old autistic daughter. And that gives a little bit of a monkey wrench in that, but it can be done.
Coffee all day, every day,
Jody. And Janelle's been homeschooling 3 years and Kristen 5. So we have a range of years in this.
Yeah.
And that's encouraging. I thought, well, and we may have people out there that don't want to answer, is my thought, because then they're put on the spot. But if we have any brand new homeschoolers, let us know. So we're going to talk prizes. Are you excited? Who's excited about prizes?
Great prizes. Who wants to win a prize tonight? Say me in the comments.
Me, I want to. Can I?
I win? I don't think we're allowed, Patty.
Jody is done homeschooling, but she put 20 years in. Why you are raining on my parade? So should I start with the grand prize or the third place and go backwards?
Let's start third. Let's work our way up.
Okay. So in third prize, well, our prizes were designed to help you get outside and homeschool. So third prize, sun art. Have you ever done sun art? Where you put something on the paper and then wherever you put it, the paper, I believe the paper fades and you have an imprint. There's a find and see activity cards. So things to find outside. And then there looks like it's a little bug kit.
See, my kids would be all over that one. They're constantly finding ladybugs and bringing them in the house and stealing all my jam jars to put ladybugs in all the time.
I wish I could send you jars.
I could use jars.
Maybe we'll drive them over to you. I want to go to Vancouver.
Welcome. Come to Canada.
So our second prize is a bird package. So there's a bird guide, binoculars, and a bird feeder.
Fun.
And birds are exciting for kids to watch, and label the different types of birds you see. And our grand prize is a bocce ball set with an outdoor blanket. And this blanket rolls up and you can store it in your car. Have you ever played bocce ball?
Yes, I love bocce ball.
Do you
And
really?
I was going to say, we have a blanket like that we've had for like 5 years, and that thing gets taken everywhere. It is so, so handy to have a blanket, whether we go to the beach or whether we're sitting outside in the grass or we go to a park. Those blankets are awesome.
So we have some more comments. Krista says, I love prizes. And Jennifer says, first year, 4 kids from New York. Well, welcome, Jennifer.
Awesome. If you have any questions for us, please comment them below. We are more than happy to help however we can.
Yes. Yeah, that's we're so excited to have a first year with us. And Heather says they're cute, and Jennifer says she was doing dishes. Dishes. Are we ever finished?
No, never.
So Alicia says, I love the bird one. We have so many wild birds here. And Kristen said we'll be studying birds in September. So
we need to do a bird study. We have a family of robins that lives in our yard pretty much permanently. About 8 of them.
Really?
Yep, every day.
Now we have bluebird family and they come back every year.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's like our robins.
Yeah. So, and Krista said what great prizes, and they want every day to be a picnic day. I do too. Don't you?
And do you ever take your schoolwork outside for a picnic, Patty?
I do. I do. Now, so I used to do it much more often, but my son with autism does not like bees at all. And every time he's outside, he gets stung. It seems like.
Oh, no.
And so we have to sort of watch. If it's an area where there's lots of bees, then we end up leaving. So
it's that time of the year, unfortunately.
Yes, but the nature thing can be scary.
Yeah.
Unpredictable. And that's what with autism, the unpredictability is hard.
Yeah, of course.
So I think Devon has put this up for us. Get outside and homeschool. Use code OUTSIDE to pay only $179. It's regularly $224.90 for an ultimate annual membership to schoolhouseteachers.com. It includes a free tote.
An adorable tote. It's super cute.
And that is good for all of your children. The one price, and you can access as many of our, I believe it's over 450 courses.
There's so much on there. Much on there.
Yes, resources. In fact, we're going to talk a little bit about the courses. And okay, so you homeschool year round, correct?
We do. Yeah, we didn't originally do that way, but after about 2 years, I realized my kids got way too bored in the summer for me giving them 2-3 months off. So we take breaks now and then for a week or two, but we just go year round, and they seem to be quite okay with that. But as you were saying, we take it outside in the summer. We have picnic tables outside we can sit at. We have our deck table we can sit at. Sometimes when the pumpkins are growing, I get them out to go outside and draw a little picture, and then we go in and we label all the pumpkins. So there's so many opportunities to take the learning outside in the summer that it doesn't feel the same as schooling all year.
So when are your pumpkins? Our pumpkins are much later. They turn.
We just planted them last week.
So we haven't planted here yet.
Okay. Because, you had snow a week ago. We didn't. So we just planted on the weekend.
Okay. So Alicia says they have a bluebird family and killdeer that return each year.
I don't know what a killdeer is. I don't know what kind of bird that is.
Well, we'll have to look it up.
Let us know, Alicia. What kind of bird's that?
Janelle says we go outside, no school happens.
That's fair. My kids would try and do that too.
But school could happen. I don't know how close you are to a beach, but like I would be doing school at the beach. Building sandcastles is great construction.
Totally. Engineering, design, structural, art.
And all the sea creatures you find, the little crabs and the shells.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of.
We're not far from the ocean here in Vancouver, so we went for a beach walk once, and the kids found a starfish, and we found some barnacles, and then they were seeing the different water levels and how they change. Oh, it was super interesting, and they didn't know they were learning; they were just having fun at the beach.
That's the beauty of
Yep.
when sort of homeschool without strict agenda. If I say get XYZ done today, XYZ never gets done. But if I say we're just going to learn about wherever their interests are, especially when you're outside, you find something crawling around and you start looking that up. Alicia said the tote is awesome and it's huge. The classes available are amazing and range in so many subjects. And we did say we were going to talk about them.
We got off talk. Sorry.
We have ground lizards. They're big, aggressive creatures that sound alarms. They group up and chase you. Oh, not having that cat all?
Not having that at all, I think she meant.
Oh,
I'll translate.
I'm sorry. Okay, so ground lizards don't sound like fun, but we can study them. We can study.
Oh, my kids would love to study them.
How do you homeschool outside in 100-degree weather? So I'm assuming if your weather is 100 degrees in the summer, you're outside in the spring and the fall.
And maybe you're somewhere air conditioned in the summer.
Okay, so a killdeer is a type of plover, and we can look that up.
We will. I will.
So I like your thing, Patty. We do the same thing, turn everything into a school lesson. And that's, the kids ask a question. What is this? Why does it get cold at night? You look it up, turn it into a lesson.
It's really about taking those little simple questions and turning it into a lesson without them actually knowing it's a lesson. A simple question can turn into 1 hour, 2 hours. You're still learning and they have no idea because you're just answering the question and they want to know. They have a natural curiosity to learn and you just follow that trail. It happens so easily.
Okay, so that's tough. We live in Texas. And so I'm going to say that, and she says it's 100 degrees in the summer. So when you have nice weather, take it outside. And we do homeschool year round. We take breaks. So we don't ever have snow. Obviously, our public school system has snow days. The snow days are the buses can't get down the side road or there's too much ice. And so the schools are closed. We don't close for school days. We close if there's a sick pet or if it's too nice out. And then we go out, we close the books.
Mom's really not feeling good.
Mom used to get migraines. I don't anymore. So, yes. And thank goodness for air conditioning. Our hammock is the spot for independent reading and curling up with Dad for reading practice right now.
Oh, I love that. That sounds great.
Yes. So if it's too hot in the summer, get outside in the spring or the fall or what we consider our winter.
Or go to the pool and your school day is learning how to swim.
Beach trips are magical for my daughter. She turns into a wild creature just free.
Oh,
she does her own exploration, and that's
wonderful.
Great. Yes. Let's do science outside, 1st through 4th grade. Okay, so Devon is keeping us honest here. We said we were going to talk about some of the courses. And this course, let's do science outside. Carolyn, when you see a course that says 1st through 4th grade.
Yeah.
And how old are your children?
Sorry?
How old are your children?
So mine are in, I guess grades, homeschooling, right? Grades don't really matter. So my youngest is 5. My oldest is in grade 5 now. And my middle is in grade 3 now, technically. But I just go by interest. And the thing is, I usually do all their schooling together anyway. So something like 1st through 4th would probably be ideal for all 3 of my children, really.
Okay. So, and that's how I do things too, or did when my kids were younger. As they get older, you can still do it to some extent, but they also work a little more independently. So, oh, Heather says spray parks.
Oh, good idea.
Do you have those?
We do, but again, we're in the country, so the closest spray park would probably be half an hour from us.
Yeah. So, and Alicia said the best learning takes place through curiosity.
Absolutely.
So, in addition to the great ideas, we do take swim lessons in the summer.
Perfect.
So in addition to the let's do science outside, is that the one she put up?
Yep.
I can't even, thank you. There's let's do math outside, and let's do art outside, and any of the art lessons or through Schoolhouse Teachers, your kids can go outside and sit on the deck or sit under a tree.
Garden. Yep.
And sketch. And even the little ones, give them paper and pencil, and they can sketch what they see crawling in the grass and
what's growing in your garden, the birds and the trees. Or sometimes I grab the leaves later in the summer as the leaves start coming down. We grab the leaves and the kids will do the shading on the leaves and see how many different patterns they can get.
And the leaves and find out what kind of trees those are. And so there's a lot to leaves. Jennifer says, I wish I was a fun mom. Okay,
I'm sure you are.
And if you feel like you're not a fun mom, I feel like to the opportunities to say, okay, God, help me, point me in the direction of creative things. And then they start popping up everywhere you go.
And I feel like as soon as you go outside, if you tell your kids you're going to go outside and don't actually mention that you're going to do school, everyone's probably going to be in a better mood as it is. We're going outside. I thought we were going to sit at the desk and do our written curriculum. And no, we're just going to go outside. And then, hey, kids, what's this over here? Let's grab some paper and try and sketch that ladybug. And, how many dots does it have? And I mean, they're going to think that's fun. You might not think it's amazing or that you didn't put in all this thought, but they're going to have a blast.
Oh, and even if, like I have kids that don't like to sketch a whole lot, but depending on the ages of your kids, okay, find something that begins with the letter B. I mean, just little games to get them thinking and to look around and explore their environment.
Or if you have an older one, photography. Great opportunity to learn photography outside.
And even with our cell phones now, all of our can take pictures. Years ago, when you were investing in film and a real, a camera, it got expensive for your child to take 30 pictures of the same blade of grass.
We don't have that problem anymore.
Oh, and we can delete a lot of those pictures.
We can delete a lot, yes.
So let's do math outside. Alicia says, I have to get ideas from other moms.
Absolutely. Are you in our Facebook groups? We'll talk about that later, but join our Facebook groups. We would love to brainstorm.
Okay. So Alicia says, cicadas are coming out, collect the shells they leave behind.
We don't have those up here, but I've seen them in Florida. They're very cool.
You don't have them?
No.
Oh, interesting.
No.
Okay. Start a family summer bucket list. It does not have to be complicated. And that's a wonderful thing. Do you have a bucket list?
I have a travel bucket list. It's very, very long. But no, I don't generally make bucket lists, but we're usually pretty good about just being spontaneous and, hey, let's see what's local. Where we live, again, in the country, there are multiple lakes and beaches and forests and trails. So it doesn't take a lot of effort on our part to go find something to do. We're very fortunate for that.
Okay, so we have a few not just courses from Schoolhouse Teachers, but ideas that you can look up courses and see if Schoolhouse teachers, which I know they do. They have whatever you're looking for, they have. But I want everyone to, something you'd like to study that think, like Carolyn, you mentioned photography.
Mhm.
So is there something as an adult you would like to study?
Ooh. My big thing is history. I am really, really into history, and I often think to myself, how cool would it be to get a history degree? But I love learning history with my kids, and there's a lot of history course on there. So there was a Renaissance, I think it was Renaissance art on there on schoolteachers.com. But anything history would pull me in for sure. But yeah, everyone, if you want to go to schoolhouseteachers.com, take a little browse and look what they have on there, and let us know in the comments what course interests you the most.
Okay, so if they do that, what's that good for?
I think we can give a bonus entry.
Ooh,
What do
I
you
do
think?
too. Yes. So
Bonus entry for prizes?
yes,
Okay.
that sounds great.
There you go,
And
guys.
so we need to tell them when the contest will end. Contest ends. What is the date here? Devon, do you have that? I think maybe Devon has it. I don't have it at my fingertips. But Charissa says science outside is something fun for us. We might do more subjects outside this summer
Great.
as well.
Awesome.
Okay. Oh, Heather would have this information. I think she's talking about the cicadas.
I was going to say, what are we talking about that's edible? Look up recipes. Are we really talking about cicadas?
I think so. I think that's what she's telling us. Because she says, can you tell I have boys?
Oh, so she must be talking about the bugs then.
Okay.
Cicadas are bugs, right? Technically.
Yes. Taking pics with mom's phone can be very educational and spark curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Math outside sounds amazing.
My kids are always after my phone, so they'd be quite happy if I handed it over to them for 5 minutes.
Okay. So, I'm going to put this up. There's 9th grade science gardening. And obviously you don't have to be in 9th grade to do gardening, but that's something, planting, gardening.
Important life skill, learning where food comes from, how much work it takes to actually grow food, appreciation for food.
I'm going to pop this up and you can talk about that a little bit.
Talk about gardening?
No, our Facebook group.
Our Facebook groups. Yes. So technically my position here at the Old Schoolhouse is social media engagement specialist, which basically means I am the person who loves to talk with you. So we have lots of groups. We have groups for all the pages. I think Devon is posting the links down below there for you to join. And it's just a great place for you to come in and ask questions. Tell us how your day's going. Let us know if you're struggling with something or if you're looking for a particular resource. If you just need to come in and be like, hey, I need some encouragement. Can someone pray for me? We would love to be that group for you to support you. There's multiple groups. So find one that works for you or join them all. And we would really love to see you there.
Well, thank you. You do a great job with engagement. I think one of the important things for homeschool moms, especially new moms, to realize is you don't have to do this by yourself.
No, you don't.
And so if you're sitting here saying, my kids are bored or they don't like their lessons or it's a nice day out, but I don't know what to do, pop in these groups.
We would love to help.
Yes. And
we have women of multiple experiences. I mean, I only have 6 years. Patty was saying she has 28. There are so many different moms in there who are going to come from different areas and we're going to have different perspectives, and we can all come together and help each other out.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the beauty of community.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to talk just really quick about a couple other courses that I found.
Okay.
There's Weird and Wonderful World of Worms. Worms. It's grades 3 to 5 is what it says. But now, if you want to teach about worms,
my kids love worms. Does Douglas like worms?
No.
I was going to say, my kids love worms.
So I'm going to share a secret about myself. I used to love to hold worms, and I don't mind holding them. But out of my 5 kids, only a couple of them would hold them.
Worms are great little workers. We need those worms.
Yeah. They're cool. Like they feel cool to the touch. And yep. I loved when I was young. So
I'll take a worm over a snake any day.
Oh, absolutely. I am not a snake person. Sabrina's going to pass on the treats.
I don't blame you.
Okay, so this looks so interesting for a trip and education, the Appalachian Trail.
Cool.
Is that in Schoolhouse Teachers?
I'm going to have to go look for it now.
Huh. Interesting. And there's science all around us. It's first and second grade. There is also geology, studying rocks.
You know, it's a great field trip for that one, going to visit Mount St. Helens. If you're in that part of the world, it's not far for us if we were allowed to go to the States right now. But if you're on the West Coast, Mount St. Helens is super cool. Or Volcano National Park in Hawaii. Very, very cool.
Wow. Now, my husband has been to Mount St. Helens. I have not. He was on a business trip, and he even brought home a mug made with ashes or something. And
cool. Yeah, and in Hawaii, you can actually walk right in the lava tubes that used to have the lava flowing through them, and they're huge and so cool. Great for geology.
Okay, so here's the Canadian Facebook group for our Canadian friends.
We would love to see more people in that one. That one's a lot smaller, but I know there's Canadians out there who are homeschooling, so we would love you to join.
And Crystal does not like snakes. That's her biggest fear.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia loves snakes.
Oh.
And Kristen says, I prefer snakes to insects.
Interesting.
Snake lovers. I no. And in fact, I have a funny story about how we ended up in Ohio. My grandparents originally lived in West Virginia. They came from Slovakia, and they were in West Virginia, and my grandmother spoke no English, and my grandfather came home one day, and she told him they were moving. She found a rattlesnake in the on the edge of the crib, and she shot it, and she said, we're moving. And that's how we ended up in Ohio.
Wow. Well, that's an interesting story.
So yes, the hatred of snakes runs deep in our family.
It goes a long way back.
Crystal loved Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's been a long time since I've been there, but trek to the again.
And Wonders of the World course.
That would be really cool. Wonders of the World. I have a child who was really obsessed with the Wonders of the World for a while. I think he was only about 7 years old, and we spent a month. See, this is like veering off the educational path here of what we were supposed to do. We spent a month learning about the Wonders of the World because he could not get enough of it. And I was like, we have the time, we can do it.
Well, and even in my own life, I see how God has worked. I ended up taking some courses in college that were not part of my major. And then years later, when my husband started a business, I used all those skills in those courses. You knew. Yes. So he knows your child. He knows what your child is going to grow up to do. Yeah. And he is working all of that out in your child's life today. So Alicia said, what a story. And it was a good reason to move. And the county we live in Ohio has no poisonous snakes. So
yeah, we don't have those really in Canada either. Well, at least not in BC very much. So we don't worry about snakes up here.
Okay, so there is a wildlife adventure course, which I think that would be to go to the zoo use a course like that, or even, visiting the zoo. Most of us have some zoos probably within an hour or two. Visit the zoo, have your children pick out some animals they want to study and learn more about. The Spring Digital Magazine has a lot of great articles.
There's Devon keeping us on topic again.
Good thing we have her.
I know, or else me and Patty will just chat all night long.
But we have people chatting with us.
Yes, I'm sure. Okay. Hopefully more have joined us since we started.
Yes. So this is the print magazine, the spring 2021 issue, and you can access the digital magazine online for free. So if you don't have for free.
I feel like we need to drive that point home, Patty. It's free online.
Okay, so Carolyn, can you tell us about the print magazine, what you love about the print magazine? Because the summer one's coming up.
So I'm an old-fashioned kind of girl. I mean, I love digital content, and I love being able to access things quick, and I love, Google as much as the next girl. But when it comes to things like books or magazines, I want to hold them in my hand. I want to have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and open it. And that is why I personally like to get mail. And you know what? I don't think we get enough mail these days, people. I think there's not enough mail. Everything's an email. I don't want it on email. So I love getting it in the mail and having my time with my coffee and sitting down. And usually what I do is the first time I get it, I just peruse it and I just flip through and quickly look it over once or twice. And then I kind of get deep dive into the content and really read it all. And because this magazine is so meaty, it is not a light and fluffy homeschool magazine. It's got some great fun content, but there are some really wonderful articles in there for encouragement and for ideas and for just planning where you're going to take your homeschooling in the future that I just can't recommend it enough. And especially if you can manage to get the subscription and have it mailed to your house, I would highly recommend it because I love it. I really look forward to it.
So the magazine even talks about some of the courses that are available. This spread shows there's a botany course, curious science, creation, nature and you, and wonderful world of bugs. So those are some wonderful courses. And some of the articles in the spring magazine talk about careers or nature journaling. So there's great resource for moms and dads.
It's a wonderful resource for all homeschoolers.
Yes. Yeah. So check out that digital magazine and subscribe and get that.
I think Devon put up a link. Did she put up a link there for the digital or for subscription?
She did for the digital magazine. So that's in there. Okay. And Alicia said, I ended up giving mine to someone who wanted one, so I shared.
Oh, that was kind of you.
That was.
Pass it on.
Okay. So Krista loves the TOS app to read the magazine digitally. So
loves you can smell. I totally understand her, and this is like that book smell. I'm totally the same. Like I even have a Kindle to use for digital, but I prefer to hold it in my hands.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yes. And Devon likes to read the print copy. And Crystal does too.
Crystal likes the print copy.
Yeah. I wonder if they really studied homeschool moms, if we homeschool because we like books so much.
I know. It's a problem, right? We really do like our books.
We have such a great team that puts it together, Alicia says, and they do such a wonderful job, and they do. Really do. And Clarissa says she loves the print magazine. Okay, Benita is asking how much for a subscription. Courses sound amazing. So are you asking about the subscription for?
I think Schoolhouse Teachers.
Schoolhouse Teachers, which is, I do have
$179.
It was $179.
on sale right now. So
yes, with the code outside. So schoolhouseteachers.com, use the code outside, and the 179 will cover your whole family. And all these wonderful extra resources, which you will be talking about. I will, you know what, we're gonna have you talk about that now, because we have
we're
people
on the topic.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, we've been talking about all these amazing Get Outside resources that are all on there and all the courses that are on there. But I also want to touch just very quickly on some of the resources for mom on there, because these are all like bonuses I didn't really know about until I just started poking around the website. But first of all, you get your planner that you can print off. So if you're like me and you need to write everything down or you will lose track of something, you've got that planner that is included in your subscription. You can print it off and use it. There is also, let me find my cheat sheet here. That's got a list of what we actually all have. There's something called Apple Core, which I just discovered, which is really, really awesome way to track what your kids are learning, especially if you have high schoolers. You're able to actually track all the courses they're doing, and then that can go towards a transcript for high school. So mine are all in elementary, but I'm just doing it for my own personal satisfaction. Oh, all schoolhouseteachers.com members get the magazine for free. There you go. So I like to use Apple Core, as I was saying, just to track what we're covering in a year and where we're going to go. That is also included in your subscription. You get a silver level access to Apple Core. There are tons of printable charts on there for both Canadians and Americans. So that's important to note. Just things like all the different like loonies, and this is going to sound funny to Americans, our loonies, our toonies, what those look like, how much they're worth. They have a little cheat sheet you can print off for that. There's a schedule.
So I'm going to, the loonies and toonies, I know what they are, but not everyone may know what a loony and toonie is.
That's our money. That's our Canadian money. So a loony is $1. A toonie is $2. So they have this chart you can print off for your child when they're learning that, so they don't forget how much is a loony worth, how much is a toonie worth, that kind of stuff.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. So, so I know you were so excited to find out about some of those free resources.
Yeah. Especially Apple Core. I spent like 2 hours one night being like inputting all my information. I was like, this is so awesome.
Benita said, my grandfather had a grapevine and there were snakes in the vine, and he would find them and kill them with a hoe. It was scary. And things like that imprint on us. It's amazing to me how we remember things. So Devon is putting that up again, schoolhouseteachers.com.
You can get your
code outside. Mm-hmm. Okay, Crystal, this is a great idea. And Crystal, we should do it. This might be our homeschool product that we...
TOS can make this, can't they? Come on.
We should make it. Someone should create a candle that smells like a good used book for us book lovers.
Mm-hmm.
Cup of tea, your candle burning, and we can use our phones.
Sounds like my kind of night.
And Kristen loves the new book smell.
Can't be beat.
Those names you have for money are great.
It's so Canadian, right? It's so cutesy. It's laughable, really, but that's what they're actually called, loonies and toonies.
Okay, so I am going to, when we're talking about money, sometimes homeschool moms don't have enough money, have enough loonies and toonies and dollar bills, because we're buying books.
Mm.
And so we might need a job like us. We have a job. And so we are hiring. We're hiring advertising sales reps. This right now, we are having our recruitment events. I am going to tell you a little bit about it. There is no sales experience needed. We will train you and give you companies to work with. You'll need to be able to call and email potential customers, and you will have an amazing time. Right now, the homeschool market has grown, and you will be selling to people who want what you are selling. And so you are looking for a job, contact, this is part-time, contact homeschoolsalesteam.com. And we would get to see you even more.
Great company to work with. I mean, I'm still one of the newbies around here, but I'm just so impressed with this team of people. They're such wonderful people, and you won't regret joining this team.
Alicia says, honestly, I think our family has a problem. Oh, she's back to the books. We have some books and we
That's
keep
okay. I
buying
can
more.
talk about books all day, Alicia.
You are not alone. And a few years ago, I sold at some homeschool book sales, and had people come into the house. Some teachers I knew. I sold over 3,000 books, and I probably still have that many. So
yeah, I have a lot of books too. I call it our personal library. It sounds better that way.
well, I used to say we should have a homeschooling for a book addict is like almost like
Like what, Patty?
almost like a someone with a problem with alcohol working in a bar. You're adding fuel to that. So
it's always an excuse, right? Well, it's for school. We need it for school.
Yeah, and I know we're all struggling with this, but every book is valuable, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's what I tell my husband anyways.
Okay, so Alicia said the team is awesome to work for. So if you are looking, they encourage one another, and it's family more than a company. And the praying before meetings, and the just being able to fellowship with like-minded is wonderful. So Kristen says, I love curriculum books too. Part of the reason why I love that ST is online. It keeps the clutter down.
And again, there's just so much on there. Like, we barely scratched the surface in what we've talked about tonight, because you can spend hours and hours just digging through that website and discovering something you somehow missed before. There's so much there.
So every book is valuable. Now, Devon says, how many bookshelves do you have? Not enough. I have stacks of books.
Yeah, I need more bookcases.
Yeah. I have books in boxes in the basement. And have you ever, this question, this is an entry. Any comment you give is an entry. So this question, have you ever bought a book and then found it so you now have two of the same book?
Yes. It's not just me. It's usually my kids who figure it out too, because I buy it on sale. I'm like, oh, this is such a great price, I need to pick it up. And then we go to put it in the bookshelf, and my kids are like, Mom, we already have this one. Oops.
Okay, so Alicia says she doesn't have enough bookshelves. Krista says she has 5. Kristen says I have 10 and figure out how to fit in another one. Kristen says about 8 between the living room and dining room. So she says she's done this several times, Kristen says. And yes, when you buy at thrift stores and
yeah.
So once upon a time I tried a database of all the books I had, and it was going very well. But then I would lend books out and forget to update the database. And so then that's where, and you start keeping, when you run out of bookshelf space, you start keeping them in boxes, and then you got to label the boxes. And then when you pull a book out, if you don't keep track that you pulled it out to use, yeah, I've bought so many times. Or I will sell the book and then 2 years later need it for another child.
You know what? I've been selling mine too in the past, and I've started slowing down on it, because I'm like, I think 3 years from now we're going to come back to this. I need to stop selling it, because I'm thinking I'll sell it, and then I can use that money to buy another book. But then I find that I actually needed that book still, so I've got to pace myself a bit.
Pace yourself. I know a lady who had to reinforce her floor from all the books she has because the floor was beginning to bow.
Was she a homeschooler? That's what I want to know.
So we all have lots of books. I left my Nancy Drew and Grandmother's Attic books when I was in high school. I still regret it.
Oh.
Did you ever read Nancy Drew?
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't. I don't know if that was before my generation. Maybe my husband was really into Hardy Boys. But no, I was like the era of like Babysitter's Club.
Okay. So I read one Nancy Drew and then switched to Hardy Boys.
Okay.
So I think my husband is probably afraid of us needing to reinforce our floors. So I am going to, now that we've talked about having too many books. One way to avoid buying even another book besides Schoolhouse Teachers is the YouVersion Bible app.
Way to work that in there, Patty. I was wondering what the angle was going to be there. Nicely done.
Okay, so before you started working here, had you used the YouVersion Bible app?
I had not.
Okay.
I had not even heard of it.
So if you, I hope everyone has the YouVersion Bible app, but if you don't, I am going to, it's this little icon on your, it says Holy Bible on my phone. It's this little brown one. Oh, backwards. Okay. It says Holy Bible. You download that. And the Old Schoolhouse we now have 2 devotional plans. It's Homeschool Moms Teach the Psalms, and it's Psalms 1 through 7. And with those Psalms, you read the Psalm, and there's a little devotional that goes along with it. And then there's a little activity to do with your children. So you read the Psalm to your children, and then you do the activity. And I personally felt like it was nourishing to my soul, what I learned. So I did 1 through 7. Did you do 1 through 7 too?
And then I was going to say, and then after you do that, come into our Facebook groups because we like to discuss them and we're hoping to do that more.
Yes.
Let us know what you took from the devotional.
And Crystal had said YouVersion is amazing. Krista says I use that app daily. And Crystal says I love that with YouVersion you always have the Bible with you. Plus you can highlight scripture and keep notes. Yes.
Yeah.
And you can have friends on there. And my husband and I will periodically share a verse with him.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yes, you can.
Oh, cool.
So I can share things with my husband. If I read something that I think might be helpful for him that day, encouraging for him.
Honey, I think this speaks to you today.
But I'm not trying to be Holy Spirit to him. I thought that it's something that might be encouraging to him.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think
great. I didn't know about that.
I think you were misinterpreting.
Maybe I was thinking for myself.
Well, and we all tend to probably do that just a little. I love comparing translations, and that is nice to be able to switch between the translations. So in addition to the YouVersion app that we are going to be sharing in the groups, we are going to be sharing it somewhere else. Do you want to talk about where else we're going to be sharing that?
Are we talking about homeschoolblogger.com?
Yes.
Yes. So here's my little push for those who like to be involved in social media. Maybe you're feeling a little sick of social media lately and you're not loving the platforms you're on. We have something called homeschoolblogger.com. And no, it is not just for bloggers. Not everybody wants to blog. We get that. But homeschoolblogger.com is also a community. It is free for you to sign up. We would love to see you there. And we just want to get a great space where we can chat with like-minded Christian women, people. If you want to write a blog, you are welcome to do that, and you can share that content on there with other people who would love to read it. But we also just want you to join so we can chat with you. And like I said, it's free for you to use, and maybe you'll find you like that community over there better than some of the other social platforms you're using now.
And that the people over there are, they're going to be talking about homeschooling. Sometimes in some homeschool groups, they're talking about everything but homeschooling.
Right.
And you're looking for some homeschool encouragement, and sometimes it's hard to find.
Yeah, because, I was going to say, even though there's a lot of us out there, there's a lot of us homeschoolers out there, there's a lot of people who homeschool around the world, it still feels like, we are walking a different path. We have been called to a different journey than maybe everyone else in your area. So I feel, for me, at least, it's very important to get together, even if it's virtually, with like-minded individuals, to chat, to discuss, and to be encouraged by other people. And we would love to be a community like that to you as well.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for what you do. You are so good at the engagement and at making people feel like they are part of a community.
I hope so. That's my goal. So
you are good at that.
Thank you.
I'm amazed at just how it seems to come so easy for you.
I'm a people person. I just love people. And I love to love on people.
That's so wonderful. You do a great job. And Kristen says, I'm going to try my hand at blogging. And
it can be very therapeutic.
Alicia said you both do a great job. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Alicia.
And Krista says, I love how Schoolhouse Teachers points everything back to Christ. And that's
our goal.
If you would have asked me 28 years ago why I was starting to homeschool, I wouldn't have said it, but I knew it. When I went to homeschool, it was a local homeschool meeting, and we didn't have Facebook to go to, and I went to a local homeschool meeting, and I knew God was calling me to this. I knew that. I went to get more information, and just everything. I came home and told my husband, you need to come to the next meeting with me. I know this is what we're supposed to do. So
we were similar. My husband and I already knew we were homeschooling before we even had children. We knew from before we even had kids that this is what we were going to do. We just, like you said, I felt called to it. I felt like it was a calling.
Yeah. But I didn't tell people because I knew homeschooling wasn't that as popular, and I was already struggling with doing something that wasn't mainstream.
Right.
Yeah. So I just said, we'll just do 1 year at a time.
Right.
So Crystal said, Carolyn and Patty, you are both amazing. And thank you, Crystal. Thank you.
So sweet.
Sabrina says, this has been very refreshing for me. And that is.
And let us know in the comments if you like these lives, if you find these encouraging for you or helpful for you, please do let us know. We would love to know what your thoughts are on it.
Yes. Yeah, that's we also want to know what people like or don't like about Facebook groups. Did we ask them that?
No, I didn't. How can we make them serve you better? When you join a Facebook group, what is it you want to see in that group? Do you want to see, conversation? Do you want to see verses? Do you want to see devotionals shared by us? Do you want us to post links to resources? Let us know what you want from us so we can help you. How can we make your job and your life easier and better?
You say that so wonderfully. Okay, so Jennifer said, feeling lost after a year. Okay.
After a year of homeschooling?
I believe Jennifer had said she was homeschooling a year, and so she's feeling lost. And
Jennifer, are you in our Facebook groups? I would love to know if she's in our Facebook group so I can chat with her there.
Yes, and probably we need to ask a few more questions.
Need some more information so we can help.
Yeah.
But yeah, send us a message in the Facebook groups and we'll chat with you for sure.
And I think after a year, I would say my first year, I probably felt lost too,
It gets
because
easier as you go on.
yes, well,
Mhm.
because like I wasn't really comfortable with the curriculum I was using, and I felt like I was forcing my children to do school at home.
Mm.
That's
a deschooling. There's a process of deschooling that kind of has to happen.
Well, and even though only one of my children went to kindergarten,
Mm.
but
It's just
my
the mindset.
yes,
It's the mindset. It probably took me 3 years to get out of that mindset. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight, but
yeah. So I was trying to force my kids to do school at home. And then one day I had this aha moment, like, I didn't keep my kids home to do school at home. I kept them home so they would love to learn.
Yes.
And so when I adopted that mindset, how do I make learning fun, engaging, and something they want to do, as opposed to we have to do school?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That made a difference in my life. So,
and it does get easier. It gets easier over time.
Oh,
you find
absolutely.
your groove.
And you start to learn how your kids learn best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alicia said this interaction is always fun and encouraging. Facebook groups need to be fun, engaging, and informative.
Okay.
Kristen says, I love when previously posted magazine articles are shared.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Good to know.
Okay. And Danielle says, I love the lives. Is it a fabulous chit chat?
Chock full
of info and encouragement. Okay.
Good.
We're chit chatting. Believe it or not, we don't script or practice. Can you tell? Jennifer said no to one of our questions.
We're going to have to touch base with Jennifer.
Yeah. This past year has not been normal for even veteran homeschoolers in most places. Lots of outside classes, field trips, travel. The loss of co-op classes, the loss of, and we know in our local homeschool group, people who did not participate at all because maybe their children were sick, or have some autoimmune issues, and so they were not able to participate, and that made it hard.
It's been a rough year. It's been, even for us homeschoolers, this has not been a normal year.
Yeah. Just not being able to go to the park like we usually did. And Kristen said you start to embrace the freedom. And Alicia said,
I'm just plugging in my phone so I don't lose you guys.
The loss of the library. That was a big, because we used to go to the library on a regular basis. Okay, so Devon has posted the Facebook group.
Thank you, Devon.
Thank you. Yes.
We all go through seasons, some that seem to flow smoothly and you actually see progress, and there are seasons that are a struggle and you don't feel like your children progress at all. Just know that it's normal to feel lost at times, but homeschooling is a lifetime journey, not a race. Very well put, Crystal. Thank you for sharing that. It's so true.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the I compare to when you wallpaper or paint a room. You're looking.
Wallpaper terrifies me.
Okay, so I
good example.
No, years ago I wallpapered. Well, when you wallpaper, it might take, with little kids, a week to get the room done.
Right.
When you paint, you can get it done in a day or two. And you can stand back and look. Homeschooling is how many years? You can't, it's like putting up one piece of wallpaper a year.
Right.
And it's going to take a long time to be able to stand back and say, oh, this is beautiful.
Right.
This really works. Or, since it's such a slow process, just raising children is that slow process.
Right.
It's a little bit at a time.
Yeah. And it's so easy to lose your end goal sometimes. And I think I always say, remember your why. on those hard days, remember your why. Remember why you chose to do this in the first place. There's a reason why you were called to this or why you're doing this. And sometimes you just need to take a breath and say a prayer and remember that why.
Okay, Danielle, I don't know if you said where you're from, but she says we can't even play on the street in front of our house right now. And
yeah, I wonder where she's from. I mean, I'm in Canada and things are pretty locked down here too, but we're allowed to go outside.
That's tough when you can't even go outside.
Yeah.
Do you have a backyard? Are you allowed to go outside in the backyard, or yeah, that's tough. And so I think we probably need to the things like the Version Bible app that give you encouragement are so important, just to find ways to I don't know. I'm hearing crackling. Are you?
I'm hearing crackling.
Yeah. To join in with our group, do the YouVersion Bible app devotional along with us. Okay, so she's in Trinidad, and they have a state of emergency because of the COVID cases. Okay, so find ways to plug in a group, either the Facebook group, do the devotional, and just to keep your spirits up.
Yes. Yes, please join our Facebook group. I would love to be a source of encouragement for you if I can.
Okay, so Alicia says a tapestry one thread at a time. It may look incomplete and messy, but when you finish, there's a work of art standing before you. Your child will prosper in ways you cannot see yet, but you will have those light bulb moments where your kids get something new and you're reminded that everything is worth it. And we had parks closed. Right now you're dealing with that.
That's so hard. That's so hard. We've been there. It's a really hard season.
Okay, so we taught you how to get bonus by going over to schoolhouseteachers.com. And so every time I talk, I'm getting crackling.
Yeah.
So you tell them the bonus.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't even hear you, Patty. I'm sorry.
Is it that bad?
It cuts out a lot. Yeah.
The bonus entry.
The bonus entry. I can't even remember what we decided on for the bonus entry. You're going to have to help me out there.
Schoolhouse Teachers.
Oh, yes. Got it. Okay. So for those of you who are still with us, if you want to earn a bonus entry, head over to schoolhouseteachers.com. Take a little peruse through all of the stuff that's on there and let us know in the comments what appeals to you most. If you were to sign up for a course today, what course would that be? Let us know in the comments, and that will be a bonus entry for you. Oh, can't hear you at all, Patty. I hope you didn't completely just cut out. No. Am I on my own here now?
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, you're back.
Okay, so we're going to up because I don't know why I'm getting feedback.
Yeah.
And it's been a pleasure to do this with you, Carolyn. And thank you. Yes, you can wrap it up and close.
Yes, sure. So don't forget schoolhouseteachers.com. The code is get outside, or sorry, not get outside. The code is outside in all capitals to get your discounted sale rate for $179. You'll get access to all the resources we talked about, all those bonuses, the calendar, the magazine, all that good stuff. So that is what we'd like you to do, to take advantage of. We don't want you to miss that. Don't forget to join our social media groups, Facebook, Homeschoolblogger.com, and the Bible app we mentioned. I don't know if Devon can do another link to that there, but just thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Patty, for kind of hosting and walking us through all this. It was my pleasure to be here with you all tonight, and I hope I will be seeing you all on the Facebook group soon so we can connect there.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. See you later.